Good morning and welcome. Today we will be doing a daily flow. It's for beginners. It's for anyone who just wants to flow for a short amount of time in the beginning of the morning to get that blood flowing. So grab a mat, put on your yoga clothes, and we are going to start standing. With your feet about bony hip distance apart, we sweep those arms overhead with a big inhale. Exhale, we turn our palms down and lower our arms by our side. 2 more times. Big inhale, palms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, palms down. 1 more time. Big inhale. And big exhale. This time we sweep our arms up. Left hand grabs right wrist. Right arm reaches across. Back through center. Right hand grabs left wrist. Left arm reaches across. Through center, we reach our arms up. Our gaze follows. Left hand grabs right wrist. Reach that right arm over. Back through center, right hand grabs left wrist. Reach that left arm over. Back through center, reach your arms up. Gaze follows. Inhale here. Exhale, we slowly, reaching those arms, we swan dive down. Finding that forward fold. Keeping your feet about bony hip distance apart. Have a gentle bend in your knees and let the crown of your head hang heavy. 2 breaths here. Find that halfway lift. We straighten through our torso. Belly button pulled in. 1 more breath here. Plant your hands and hop or step back into your plank. And then press back into your downward dog. We're going to move through that 2 more times. So we shift our weight forward, finding that plank. And then shift our weight back, finding that downward dog. 1 more time, shift forward. And then shift back. We're going to drop our knees as wide as our mat, bring our big toes to touch. Sit our hips back and walk our hands forward. Drop your forehead to the mat and actively press all 10 fingers into the mat. Slide your hands by your head, press yourselves up, knees come into center. We'll move through our cat and cow. Pull your abdominals in. Inhale here, exhale, round through your cat. Inhale, cow. 3 more times on your own. Coming back to neutral, we'll come into that child pose 1 more time. Wide knees, big toes touch. Sit your hips back. Walk your hands forward. Actively pressing your hands into the mat. Forehead drops down. 4 breaths here. Slide those hands by your head. Press yourselves up. Knees come into center. Tuck your toes and shift your hips up and back. We'll sway our hips to the left and then to the right. 3 more times. Coming back to center, reach that right leg high. Look at your hands, bring it all the way through. We're coming to warrior 1, that left foot steps wide. We bend into our front knee as we sweep our arms overhead. Holding your arms up overhead. 1 more breath here. Exhale, plant your hands, step your legs back into your plank, lower all the way down, untuck your toes, and just find a mini cobra. So squeeze those elbows by your sides. Gazes forward, lower down, tuck those toes, up into plank, back into downward dog. Left leg comes high. Look at your hands, bring it all the way through, coming to that warrior 1. Plant your hands, step back into plank, lower all the way down, untuck your toes. 1 more mini cobra, so squeeze those elbows in. Lower all the way, tuck your toes, press up into plank, back into downward dog. Lift that right leg high. Look at your hands. We'll step through, come to warrior 1 again, bending through that front knee, reaching those arms up. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank, lower halfway, untuck your toes, press yourselves away into your upward dog. Shift back into your downward dog. Left leg lift high, look at your hands, Bring it all the way through. Warrior one. On the other side. Exhale, drop your hands, step that right foot forward, come to the top of your mat. Big inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Drop your forehead and heel toe your feet together, trying to make your legs as straight as possible and your arms and head as heavy as possible. Lift yourself up, finding that halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, hop or step back into your plank, taking yourself through a chaturanga, hugging the elbows in lower halfway. Untuck your toes, press yourselves away into your upward dog. One round of breath here. And shift your hips up and back into that downward dog. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here. Lift that right leg high. Look at your hands, bring it all the way through. Left foot steps wide, bend into that right knee, sweep those arms up. Actively reaching those arms, pull your abdominals in. Opening up through your heart and your belly, your shoulders. 2 more breaths here. And 1 more breath here. And bend your knee, plant your hands, step back into plank, and press up into downward dog. Hold it here for 3 breaths. Lift that left leg high. Look at your hands, bring that left leg through. Warrior one. Sweep those arms overhead. Drop those hands, step that right leg forward. We come to a float all the way from the top. Sweep those arms up. And then we exhale as we slowly dive down to our forward fold. Heel toe those feet together. Let your head become heavy in your arms. 3 breaths here. Halfway lift. Hold yourself forward, plant your hands and hop or step back into your plank. Lower halfway. Untuck your toes, press yourselves up. 2 breaths here in your upward dog. You can drop your legs if you like, but find length through that belly, gazes forward. Tuck those toes and shift your hips up and back. 2 more breaths here. Drop your knees wide, big toes touch, shift your hips back. Actively press into all 10 fingers and drop your forehead to the mat. 2 breaths here. Slide your hands down by your head, press yourselves up. Bring your knees into center underneath your hips. We're going to come into thread the needle here, getting a nice shoulder stretch. We reach that right arm high and we dive it through all the way to the left side of the mat. Our hips are high in the air as we drop our ear and our shoulder to the mat. Our left arm has 2 options. It can slide on the mat overhead, or it can start to reach around to that opposite hip crease and turn that left shoulder up to the ceiling. Bring that left hand by your head, press yourselves up. Lift that left arm high. We're coming to the other side here. Drop our left shoulder and our left ear to the mat. Our hips are high up in the air and we're evenly pressing from left to right. Right arm can come long overhead or it can come over to the opposite hip crease. Turn that shoulder up to the ceiling and breathe. Bring that right hand by your head, press yourselves up to all fours. Sit on your left hip and swing those legs forward. Once you're there, you're going to take that right leg, cross it over your left. Sit up nice and tall as you sweep your arms overhead with your inhale. Exhale, we twist the left elbow comes to my right knee and my right arm's behind me. Come back to center, uncross that right leg, that left leg crosses over. Sweep those arms overhead with your inhale. Exhale, right elbow to left knee. We find our twist. And untwist. Come back to center, uncross your legs. Sit up nice and tall on your sit bones. Flex your feet. Again, we inhale as we sweep our arms overhead. Exhale, we reach as far forward as our body allows. Keep that spine straight. And your gaze is at your knees. Sit up nice and tall. Bend your knees. Grab onto your thighs and slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Bring those knees into your chest. Take 2 more breaths here. And then open up your knees slightly, or your feet slightly wider than your hips, and let your knees fall in towards each other. Bring your hands to your belly and focus on your breath. One more breath here. Open up those knees, bring one leg straighten on the other. Reach those arms overhead, giving yourself a full body stretch. Exhale, let your body become heavy. Bring those arms to wherever is comfortable for you. Coming into Shavasana. We can start to wiggle our fingers, rolling out our wrists one way and then the other. You can point and flex your feet and then roll out your ankles. Start to bend your knees, plant your feet, roll onto your side, and press yourselves up to a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please like it. And if you'd like more, please subscribe. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you soon. Thank you.